is Emma and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a super exciting video and the first video I've ever filmed like this. I don't know, this is a stats video which I'm not used to doing, and frankly I'm kind of nervous about how I'm gonna like interlay the charts and everything, so bear with me. But today we were doing my 2019 in review and 2020 resolutions, so I'm super excited about that. I don't know, I love stats. I was also a science major in college, so statistics is just like something I know. But I do have my bullet journal here that I'm going to be looking at and my computer, so sorry if I look down at all. It's just because I want to read you guys the numbers. So first we're going to start by looking at my Goodreads year in books, so I will interject that now hopefully. But it says that I read 39,997 pages across 120 books. But the other day it said I read 40,012 pages over 120 books. So they keep changing the page counts. I'm gonna go with the over 40,000 because it's closer to what I tracked in my spreadsheet. So let's just say over 40,000. The shortest book that I read was The Tea Dragon Society at 72 pages. That's not really a surprise. It's a children's like graphic novel picture book, so that's not surprising. Then my longest book I read was The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which is 842 pages. Also pretty expected. I don't tend to read a lot of books that length, so I knew it was gonna be that one. I don't really think this is interesting, but the most popular book I read was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone Illustrated Edition by J.K. Rowling. I feel like that's pretty obvious. And the least popular was Fence Volume 3 by C.S. Picot with 3,509. I also understand that because I don't really like that graphic novel series. I just sort of read it because it was on Hoopla, and that's the newest edition that just came out like a few months ago, so it makes sense that not a lot of people would have seen it. And my average rating was 3.73, and I think that's all I have for the screenshots, so we'll come back to me now, I guess. So the average page count I read in 2019 was 333 pages. For monthly averages, I will put in the bar chart of all of the months and how many books I read, but the average books read was 10, which is really because I read like 13 books in December, 18 books, 15 books. Like in the beginning of the year when I was in college, you can see I was reading way less. So the later months definitely increased that average, so it's not really a good testament to like my reading year. And the average pages I read per month was 3,334.8. Again, very specific. So now we will go to format. I read 36.7% hardcover, 17.5% paperback, 7.5% audiobook, which was new for me. I never read an audiobook until this year, and I read 9. And I read 38.3% ebook, which is 46, which is also new to me because I found Libby this year, so I was reading a lot through my library that way. Since we're on that topic, we will go to source. So 17.5% of the books I read in 2019 I had bought in 2019. 4.2% were gifted to me. 7.5% I owned prior to 2019, which again is not really a surprise because I didn't really buy books until 2019, so that makes sense to me. From the library, we have 67.5%. That's also the borrowed category. It's just the library. So a majority of my reading came from the library. Again, that's not surprising to me. I don't have a lot of books. So in order to read 120, I had to use a library a lot. And that was 81 books out of my 120. And then 1.7% were ARCs, which was just 2 books. Now, if we're looking at age demographic, I read 32.5% adult, which is very surprising for me. I primarily think of myself as a YA reader, which was still my biggest category, but it was very surprising that I read that many books, and I accommodate most of that to finding romance this year, not until like the back half either, so that's like all pretty much read in the back half. We have 4.2 new adult, which also goes into that, 58.3% YA, and 1.7% middle grade, which is probably just Harry Potter, and 1.7% children's, which is like Teen Titans Society. For star ratings, I gave 2 books 1 star, 10 books 2 stars, 27 books 3 stars, 67 books 4 stars, and 12 books 5 stars. So I rated a lot of books 4.5 stars, so that 67 4 stars also includes, like, 4.5s and stuff, so it's a little off. I do not have the exact numbers for how many half stars and stuff I read, so I'm sorry, but yeah, so I was really stingy about my 5 stars this year for some reason. And I think that is all I have. If I have any extra charts, I will put them up now. But yes, so now we will move into my 2020 resolutions. So my first goal is my Goodreads goal, which I set at 50 books. Last year I set my goal at 30, and obviously I read a lot more than that. I read 4 times that amount and reading 120 books. But this year I will be working, and I don't know how that's going to affect my reading, so I didn't want to shoot for like 100 and then like not meet it, so I just set it at 50, which is a little less than a book a week. I think I can do that. My second goal is to finish series. So there are so many series where I read just the first book in 2019. I'm thinking of like the Witchlands books with Truth Witch. I read The Demon King in 2018 and never moved on with the series. The Daughter of the Pirate King book, which I really loved, but I wanted my own copy, so I haven't read it. The Bone Season series, I'm still in the middle of book 2. Like, there's just a lot of series. Like, I could look around me and find more, but like, just take my word. There's a lot of series where I haven't finished. So I want to be better about like binging series maybe. Like, I don't usually like just read all of the series like back to back to back, but I want to get better at trying to do that, or at least trying to put them like closer, because that also helps with me with when I have big gaps. I don't remember a lot of things. I have such a bad memory that like I need to be reminded of what's going on. So if I read something all at once, it's easier for me and I'm more likely to enjoy it more because I understand more of what's happening, That's at least how it went with like when I read the entire Illuminate Files over the course of like a few weeks. That was great. My next goal is to read more diversely. Yeah, so basically I only read YA fantasy, romance, and YA contemporary. So I want to change that. I have a huge classic shelf. You can't even see it. It's the one above this one. But I've read a good amount of them when I was younger or like in school, but I haven't read a classic for fun except for last year when I read Pride and Prejudice, but that was it. And I gave it 4 stars. Like, I liked it. So like, you would have thought that would have been more for me to be like, okay, I can read classics, but no, that didn't happen. I also want to read adult fantasy because I love YA fantasy, and I've just been intimidated and thinking I was too stupid for adult fantasy, like that there would be too much going on and I would be overwhelmed. But there are so many adult fantasy books that I'm so excited for, like the 5th season series. I have Spinning Silver over here, which sounds good. Like, there's a lot that I've been wanting to do. Brandon Sanderson, because I loved Skyward and Starsight. Like, there is so much out there for adult fantasy that I've just been too scared to read, and I really want to get to it. My next goal is to be better about reviews. So I did end up going back through all of my 2019 reads and writing reviews for every single book, which took a lot of effort, but I also wanted to write them down, so I have a whole notebook that has all of my reviews for 2019, and I really want to be better about, in 2020, reading a book, giving it maybe a day or 2, and then I have to write the review. It can't be like, I'm just gonna sit on it for a few days and then I just don't do the review. So I want to be better about reviewing, and I also want to be better about tracking things when I'm reading that I want to talk about in my review, like representation and trigger warnings. I find that I really enjoy seeing that in other people's reviews, and when I remember to do it, I always put it in, but there's a lot of times when I like am not thinking about it, or like, I don't know, I'm just in caption in the book, so I don't write it down, and I would really like to put more of a focus on tracking those things and putting that representation and those trigger warnings in the reviews. I also, okay, this is kind of sounds weird, I want to use the library less. Like I said, I read over 2/3 of the books that I read in 2019 were from the library, and while that's really great and I love supporting my library, I know there's so many books that are on my shelves around my room that I really want to read and I just haven't read because I get distracted by the library. So for 2020, I really want to only use the library for books that I don't have, like genres that I don't have, like adult fantasy. I only own the 5th season, so like that's okay for me to go like get an adult fantasy from the library. Romance, I don't really own any except for Nicholas Sparks, so I can get other romances. And like YA contemporary, I only have a few, so I would like to get some of those maybe. I don't know, like I'm not in the mood for that right now, so it's not really a priority. And basically 2019 releases or 2020 releases that I can't afford to buy. Like I did just get a job, but I haven't started yet, but I still needs to pay off student loans and save for that. So I really want to only, like, to continue what I was doing in 2019 basically, which was only buying through thrift books, going to like thrift stores, and then I found Book Outlet at the end of the year. So like I only want to be spending very little on books. I do not want to be buying like $20 books all the time. Like that's just not me as a person. I don't do that. I am very like I'm very conscious of how much money I spend on things. I don't spend a lot normally in like any other part of my life, so why would books be different? With that being said, if there's a good sale, like I just bought 2 2019 releases because they were on the 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble. So there are exceptions, like those were with Christmas money, like there are exceptions, but I do just want to continue to be conscientious with how much money I'm spending on books. The other thing that I want to do is to make like a TBR teapot or a TBR jar for books that I don't, not that I don't want to read, but that I'm more intimidated by, like adult fiction that I have and maybe fantasy. So I got like some books from my family and stuff because they obviously know that I read a lot, and they're just not books that are in my comfort zone. So they're adult fiction, they're classics, they're stuff like that. So I want to create a TBR pot of some sort that will force me to read those books because I think I will like them. It's not that. It's just I'm intimidated because they are out of my comfort zone. So I want to just read more books that are out of my comfort zone. I feel like that's been a continual theme throughout this resolution section. And I think that's all I have. I don't really have any channel goals, like numbers wise, because frankly, I tried to do that before and it just makes you sad when you don't reach them. And I'm only gonna make what I like and what I would want to see within reason. Like obviously I wish I could have a better setup. I wish I had more books, but like that's not something I can control. So I'm just gonna continue making the videos that I like. I'm having fun doing this. It doesn't really matter that not a lot of people are seeing it. The people who are seeing it are fine. I like you. I don't know how to explain this, but I'm happy with anyone seeing my videos as long as it's not 0 views. I'm good. I am happy. I just like making videos. I've been making videos of myself since what, 2015? Since like high school. No, so longer than that, like 2013. I've been making videos when I was a beauty guru. I say quotations because I literally didn't get that many views, so like it's not really a big deal. But yeah, so I have had other channels and then people made fun of me, so I deleted it and got this channel. So yeah, if you go back to the beginning of this channel, you'll see very different videos, but it is what it is. But yeah, so my only real goal is to be more consistent. At the end of 2019, I've been doing a great job of posting like 2 videos a week. There's some weeks that I'll have a bad mental health week and I won't be able to post at all because I don't have videos. So I really want to be better about pre-filming, which I've been great about right now because I have all these end of the year videos. But I really want to keep up with pre-filming and try to get creative. I feel like sometimes I just do the basic videos, which there's nothing wrong about that, but the videos I have the most fun with are like my readathon vlogs. Like my Gilmoreathon vlog is so fun and I love it so much, but like it's not really getting the love it deserves in my opinion. But I want to make more videos like that, and my 'Tis a Seasonathon video where I put more effort into my vlogs and I had fun with it. That's sort of what I want, and I want to see if I can bring that into my sit down videos as well, so it's not just me talking at a camera. And by camera I mean my phone because I'm poor. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. So I hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and comment down below some of your 2020 reading resolutions and other resolutions if you want. And I'll see you guys in another video soon. Bye!